a great summer. Had a great summer. It's down in Florida for the extended period of time.
Yeah.
Went to the beach for a couple of days. So it's been really good. Did my 12th annual fireworks show in my hometown, Lake Butler. So that was great. Once again. So it's been a really good summer. I spent a lot of time with a lot of family, a lot of friends this time around. Able to see some people that I hadn't seen in a while. So it's been really good. And my baby boy been keeping me on my toes because now he's up and running. So I'm trying to teach him how to hold the football as we speak right now. You got the running part down. We got to get the ball placement right.
Right. And now you're back. And you look at your depth chart and you see Will Shipley and Phil Moffitt. That's going to be a good feeling.
Man, that's a great feeling when you got them two guys. I mean, it is. But I mean, really, that whole room, honestly, from all the stories and being in contact with them weekly. These guys that had a great summer. I think they're eager to get back on the practice field and get out there and get started again, and just really see where this thing goes. So I'm excited about the whole room being in there. It's another great year for us to be better. As we all know, just that time of the year when all the talking and all the projections and preseason, All-American, all that stuff getting thrown out there. But for our room, none of that stuff matters. At the end of the day, performance matters. At the end of the year, what you do on the field is what counts. All the other stuff is what you have done in the past, and we just try to keep them blind. I always tell them try to keep them horse blinders on, just so that we don't get distracted by all that stuff, and just stay focused on the task at hand. And that's just been the best group that we can possibly be for this team.
Shipley's kind of following in your footsteps a little bit there in his versatility, right?
He's very versatile. That was very obvious from I guess since high school, honestly, because he can return the football, he can catch out the backfield, he can run the football. He's very smart. He understands how defense try to play him. But he's still evolving as a runner. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to get complacent and think that you know it all. So he's getting better on a daily basis. And then talk about Phil Moffitt. That guy. He just puts in work. He's very quiet, but he goes to work. He does a great job taking care of his body, and I think he's very poised to have a big year. Honestly, just watching him this spring, just got a different look in his eye. This spring, and it's something that's exciting. So I'm excited about those two guys, and obviously got the young guys that just got here with Jarvis Green and Jameer Haynes, and just excited to see how those guys do this ball camp.
What about Donnie Thomas? Had a nice spring game, and Keith Adams Jr. had a couple nice runs as well. You have to be pleased with what those guys showed.
Very pleased with what they done this spring. They had an opportunity to really try to take advantage of the opportunity that they was given, and they did a great job. They still learning. And Dominique, he's one of those guys that he's almost like a veteran. Honestly, since day one, his work ethic has been top notch. Another guy that does a great job taking care of his body. Puts his all in everything that he does. And then Keith Adams, he's coming along. He's done a great job so far. Really just trying to still learn the whole college thing. To try to take advantage of all that, and obviously now going into a different offense, really just learning where to be on each and every play. And the game has gained more confidence than what he was a year ago. So that's always exciting. As a coach, you see a guy that gains confidence over the years. So, like I said, I'm excited about the whole room. It's a great room, great competition, and we'll see how this thing rolls.
Yeah, talking about those fresh faces, Jarvis Green, the in-state kid.
Yeah.
What's his transition to college been like, and what's just your evaluation of him as a player?
Just like anybody else that comes in, coming off from high school to college is different, because the biggest thing you have to learn about time management. You don't have someone that's holding your hand and telling you when to get up. You have to take a lot of responsibility on yourself now. He done that. He comes from a great family. His mom's a teacher, so he understands the academic aspect of it. Now just starting to get adjusted to the weight training, because it's different than what he done in high school. The conditioning is totally different than what he done in high school. So from my weekly updates from Shipley and Marfa, he'd had some good days, and then he had some days that he struggled. But you expect that, considering that he's never been through a weight training like how we have here at Clemson. And then Jameer Haynes the same way. He comes from a great family. His high school has a great weight program, but the same thing, just still having to adjust to the Clemson weight training because it's totally different. So I've been very pleased with both those guys. I'm really excited about getting on the field and getting in the classroom with them and kind of just seeing where they at as a player and really not rushing those guys. Really just wanting these guys really just to take it one day at a time. They still trying to learn what building they need to get to, right? So the football stuff, we'll get to that when it's time to get to that. But I really want them guys really just to get adjusted to the college atmosphere right now.
This is more about the trajectory of the running back position. Yesterday in the league, a lot of guys didn't get the bag. But the running back position, the most athletic position, is very integral from pass blocking, catching out of the backfield, and doing all the running. Why is the position so integral to the sport?
I guess you have to ask the GMs and the owners. But if you're a person that's in football, if you ask anybody, if you take that position away, if you take the running back position away, I'm pretty sure it won't be too many successful offenses. I can promise you that. Because guess what? Everybody wants to throw the ball down the field. And you can't throw the ball down the field if you don't have that running back in there picking up that blitzer, that extra guy that comes. So for the position to be, like you say, deep value, it's mind-blowing. My heart breaks for those guys in the NFL, because I'd have been in that arena, and I'd have been one of those guys. You put in all this hard work, you go out and have successful years like these guys that had, and you want to be paid deservedly for what you got done, right? And for those guys not to have that, it's just heartbreaking. But hopefully, over time, that those guys will be able to work out their deals and get to their respective teams, and teams will see how important they are, because every day you're not going to find a Derrick Henry. You're not going to find a Christian McCaffrey, right? You're not going to find an Alvin Kamara. You know what I mean? You're not going to find a Josh Jacobs. Those guys don't just walk around on the streets. You know what I mean? So when you have one of those good ones, or one of those great ones like some of these teams have, you have to make sure that you're taking care of those guys, because also it sends a message to your locker room too as well, that hey, we're going to take care of our own. So hopefully it changes, but I was already talking to one of the head coaches that comes here at Pro Day. We always talked about it, and he always like, hey, listen, the running back position is kind of getting devalued. We got to get this thing back going, because he understands how important that position is to a team. Especially teams that play up in the cold weather. You have to be able to run the football, later in the season. So my heart goes out to those guys, but hopefully they stick together and stay strong and believe in what they believe in and get what they deserve, because they earned that.
It actually kind of leads into the question I was going to ask, is people think about the air raid offense and they think about, throwing the ball all over the field, but Coach Riley really preaches how important the running game is in his offenses. Yes. Have you seen that to be true in your time with him? And what are the biggest differences, I guess, in his offense and Coach Streeter's last season, be it the tempo or anything else?
You see it. Just been riding for a short period of time so far, his offense is, it's very running back friendly. And then you just go and look at TCU. I want to say they had a 1,500-yard rusher. So you don't just get 1,500 yards rushing, not running the ball. So it's very, friendly in that aspect. Obviously, it's a very tempo offense. You want to play fast, but you want to play under control. And that's the biggest thing that he preaching. Then another thing is all about repetitions. We don't need a zillion plays if we're not doing one play right. So we big on repetition, making sure that we learning the nuances of just that play, and then we can move on to the next one. So he's been very strategic about how he's installing this screen, and being very slow with the guys, not trying to just throw it, not trying to word or hose them down with a bunch of plays, but really just honing in on the repetition and really understanding, what the quarterback going to be looking at. So it's been great, and looking forward to fall camp and building on the foundation that we set for the spring.
CJ, sorry to get asked, but can you talk about Jarvis Green and maybe
Jarvis
what you're
Green?
looking forward to for him and where you see his ceiling maybe in his first year?
Well, I'm excited about him. He's been great so far from my weekly updates that I've got from my older guys in the room, just asking about him over this last month or so. And just like I said earlier, he'd had some good days with the training, had some bad days, but you expect that because it's different, it's new to him. But I think, as time goes on, he's going to be right in shape come fall camp when we start up, which is where I need all the guys to be at. And then I think he has a bright future. He just come in and really just learn, up under those older guys and really just soak up everything. I think he'll be fine. He comes from a great family. He's very competitive, come from a very successful program down there with Coach Knox at Dutch Fort. So, he comes as a winner. So he knows what it takes to win. He knows the grind that it's going to take. So I'm excited to watch him develop as a player over these next several years.